Hello again and welcome to another episode of Catching Up on the Couch. I am your host, Christine Madelon, and I am joined today by one of our top employees, Cheryl. Welcome, Cheryl, to the couch. Today's topic will be brief, and it is just a reminder of prior authorization process for the year 2023, as well as patient assistance. So, in our office, we have 3 people that handle prior authorizations, including MRIs and X-rays. And I just want to start out by saying that MRIs take a little bit longer to get approved. It is not a piece of paper that we do an authorization on. It's usually done by phone, and you have to sit and answer questions to the person on the other line in order to get that done. So we want to make sure that you're taken care of as quickly as possible, but there are obstacles that we deal with, and we need you to have patience with us as well. So we have noticed over the last year that the system seems to be a little bit broken on the other side. Our office continuously fights to get you the medications that you need. A lot of these prior authorizations are faxed. A lot of them have to be done through a computer system or by phone. If we fax a prior authorization or do it through a system, at least every 2 to 3 days we check to see if we have gotten any type of response from the insurance plan. If we have not, we send it again. The other thing is that I've taught my team to be extremely diligent in the communication tab within our EMR and to document each and every time they send something, or if the insurance company calls or the pharmacy calls. So we can always give you a lot of background on what's going on with your prior authorization. So each and every drug, probably 99% of the drugs that the providers here prescribe, requires a prior authorization. Now, back before COVID, I would say, and Cheryl, stop me if you disagree, prior authorizations pretty much within 3 to 5 days were being answered. Yeah. And now we're looking at anywhere from 7 to 30 days sometimes. Exactly. Okay. Sometimes it takes up to 60 days for us to get any type of response. Once that prior authorization is approved, the prescriber will e-scribe it to the pharmacy, and each plan has a different pharmacy that they allot their prescriptions to be filled through. These are called specialty pharmacies. Once that is received by the specialty pharmacy, you will receive a call of whether or not you have a copay and how much that copay is. And they will not ship the drug to your home or to our office until that copay is paid. You must answer the phone when they call because they will only reach out to you 3 times and then they will close the case. And that's the same thing for when you're trying to get a refill. Commercial insurance plans can use copay cards to lower the cost of your copay. Unfortunately, Medicare and Advantage plans do not qualify for these copay cards, but there are foundations out there that you can apply to, and there are also direct to the manufacturer assistance programs that you can apply to too. And I will follow up with that in just a minute. So sometimes these prior authorizations are denied, and our office immediately will try to appeal for that if it does not require you failing multiple drugs before they will approve the drug that your provider wants you on. So just take us through the appeal process a little bit, Cheryl.
Sure. The appeal process, basically, we get that all written up, taken care of, sent over to your insurance company. They will need to review the information that is submitted, and that could take anywhere from 30 to 60 days. But once we have, their actual determination on file, then we will reach out to you and let you know.
Okay. And with the infusion drugs, once we receive the medication, then you'll receive a call from the nurse to schedule an appointment.
Yeah.
Now, one major point we would like to make is, with it being a new year, I'm going to use the drug Humira as a for instance. If you're currently on Humira and you've already received your supply for the month of December, if your insurance is changing January 1st, you need a new prior authorization. So the sooner that we know this, the better, because you're not going to receive your supply for January under your old insurance anymore. The second big thing is, if you are changing plans, it is your responsibility to call the insurance company to make sure that our office and our providers are in network. Just because we accept UPMC does not mean we accept all UPMC plans. There are particular UPMC plans that they only want you to go to a UPMC facility, and we are an independent, solo standing practice. So I just want to make those two things clear. If you have a plan that we do not accept and you want to continue to come here, we will work with you. And if you're going to receive an infusion or an injectable medication, we will try to work with you on your chair time for the infusion. The injectable medication should be okay as long as we have the correct information. A lot of times this is what holds up prior authorizations. We don't have the correct insurance on file. And then you receive a bill in the mail and you wonder why, and it's because we don't have the right insurance. It's been denied. So some of the medications have expensive copays. This is where those foundations come into play. On our website, we have them listed with their phone numbers and also the web addresses. You can click directly on them. That is under the resources page. We also have under the infusion suite all of the drugs that we normally prescribe here, whether they're injectables or infusion medications, and you can click on those. It will take you directly to that site, and then you can look for copay assistance or patient assistance if you're over 65 and on Medicare or an Advantage plan. So as far as the turnaround time, we addressed that. The very important to make sure that we have your correct insurance. What other red flags do you see during the day? Because I know that you sometimes spend 2 or 3 hours on the phone trying to get something approved from an insurance company.
The biggest is what you've already addressed, is just making sure that we have the correct insurance on file. And that's the biggest thing. That will delay so much. If not having a pharmacy benefit and things like that. So just anything that you have, it's best to bring in, and that way we can review it, make sure that it's correct information.
Right. And if you get your oral medications filled at CVS or Rite Aid, we can't fill specialty medications at those pharmacies. So if you're coming into the practice new, or you are a veteran here and you're being changed to something else, you probably know the system. We know it back and forth, up and down and sideways. Things change every day. We just found out that if you have Highmark, there are certain medications that will now need to be filled by Accredo. So if you're getting it through Alliance right now, next year that's going to change.
Yes, January 1st, yes.
And if you're on patient assistance already, we've done a video prior to let you know that usually that ends at the end of the calendar year. You need to reapply for 2023. Unfortunately, we have not seen a lot of foundation money since COVID. And it's unfortunate because there are a lot of very needy people out there, that need it. But the pharmaceutical companies all strived to help cure COVID and bring it to a stop. And that's where most of their money went into. Sometimes at the very beginning of the year, if you check the foundations, there may be some money in there for your particular condition. We can honestly say there has not been any money for rheumatoid arthritis in there for quite some time. So we covered the copays and copay cards. You can also get those online. So Cheryl, there are assistance programs for patients that receive infusible medications, correct?
Correct.
And so if we know that you're going on an IV medication and you have commercial insurance, one of the first things that you will do is reach out to the patient by phone to let them know that they're going to receive paperwork in the mail?
Exactly, yes. And then I will submit that paperwork. Usually on the paperwork, they do ask that you have your household income, how many people are in the household. And that information, too, a lot of times they do require you to send in your W-2 forms. They will send out a checkpoint list of what they want you to send in so that they can definitely try to get you approved for that medication. But that's what I'll do if by chance it is needed.
So basically, our rule of thumb is we always run every patient, commercial, Medicare, Advantage plan, through what they call the hub for benefit investigation to make sure that your plan actually covers that drug. Sometimes it'll come up no prior auth needed, but we still call to make sure that that is correct because unfortunately that has backfired a few times, not a lot of times, but a few times. But on the infusion medications with the copay assistance, if your plan puts the payment of the infusion medication towards your deductible or a copay, that assistance program picks up the difference that the insurance company doesn't pay, right, Cheryl?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So then you're not getting a large bill from us. But again, very important that we have the correct insurance information. You may have coverage under your spouse that's commercial, but you're 65 and got your red, white, and blue Medicare card. You need to figure out which one is primary, because we've had some patients that are very confused and they say, my commercial plan is primary, my Medicare is secondary, or vice versa. And then the claims are being denied. The patient doesn't understand why. And it's because we don't have access to check that. We can check if it's valid and up to date, but it's not going to tell us which one is first.
Right.
And so we count on you to help us out, to make your life less stressful and to make your visits here, streamlined. Again, our office is here to protect and help each and every patient. We don't want anyone to wait for medicine. We don't want anyone to suffer in pain, but we are dealing with health systems, insurance companies, pharmacies, trying to get the medication as fast as we can for you. And sometimes if you receive a denial letter in the mail, writing your own appeal in addition to our appeal really helps sometimes. We've had some indications where the prior auth is filled out correctly for how the dosing is supposed to go. The insurance company approves it incorrectly, and then the patient is waiting at the pharmacy to receive, their next 4-week dosage, but the plan has approved it as every 8 weeks. So we try to catch these errors before they occur. And the sooner we know that your prior authorization is going to run out, a lot of pharmacies will notify us that it's coming due to run out. We get right on it so that we have it before that happens. And one other big thing that Cheryl can attest to is all of the injectable and infusion medications require that you have yearly TB testing and at least once a year hepatitis testing. That is a requirement both under Medicare and almost all of the commercial plans now. That TB test is very important for your health and safety with these medications because they decrease your immune system. So I just want to thank you for letting us invade your cell phone or tablet or computer for the last 15 minutes. Cheryl, is there anything that you want to add in closing?
Basically, everything has been went over. I just want to say that it's just very, very important that you also keep up with the process with your prior authorization. That way we can get everything ran smoothly for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, everyone here at Advanced Rheumatology cares about you, cares about your health, and cares about making sure that you have what you need from us. Please be patient with us. I know that it can be a little unsettling when you're not feeling well, you're in pain, and you're trying to, get on new medication and feel better. And we are doing as much as we possibly can with the insurers, the plans, and the pharmacies for you. So from Advanced Rheumatology, Cheryl and I and the rest of the staff would like to wish you happy holidays and a happy new year. And we will see you in 2023 This year went by very, very quickly.
Yes.
And we hope that next year is a little less stressful for all and a little slower so that we can enjoy each and every day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.